on Crocheting, and in this video I'm going to show you how I crochet this granny square top. For this project I'm using a 5mm hook and weighted 4 yarn from the brand Impeccable. The first thing I'm going to do is create a slip knot, and then I'm going to chain 7. What we're doing right now is creating the cup. After you've created your chain of 7, you're going to go back on that chain using a single crochet. And once you get to the end, you're going to chain 1, flip it over, then go into the very first stitch and single crochet your way back. And once you get to the end, you're actually going to stop working on it horizontally, flip it vertically, create 3 single crochets in that top stitch. So 3 single crochets in 1 stitch. And after you've done that, that is going to be the point of your cup, and you're going to work down and around. So now you're going to go down to the left right here and single crochet your way down. Once you reach the bottom, you are going to again chain 1, flip it over, and go into that very first stitch. Then single crochet your way back to the top, and once you have reached the top, you're going to make 3 single crochets in 1 stitch, and that 1 stitch is going to be the stitch that is right in the middle. So decide which stitch is right in the middle and create 3 single crochets, and you're just going to continue with that pattern until eventually you get to the point where the cup is big enough to cover all of you. And if you think that that was really fast, it was really fast, and the reason I did that was because people who watch my videos all the time, they already know how to make cups. And if you are new to my channel and don't know how to make a cup, then please watch my video on how to crochet cups. That is beginner friendly. I will link that in the description box below. Watch that, practice that, master it, and then come back to this video. Alrighty, so now that you have completed 2 cups, you are going to now attach them. One of them is going to still be attached to the yarn ball, and the other one is not going to be. So you're going to put your hook through both of the end loops on both cups. Then you're going to bring them together by grabbing the yarn that's attached to the yarn ball as well as the yarn that is not attached to the yarn ball, and you're going to make a slip stitch, and once you have done that, they are attached. Yay! Now what I'm going to do is slip stitch my way across to the end. And if you're wondering what this is some lining that I sewed in because this is a white top, and usually white tops show a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, and I like to just sew in some fabric just to cover everything up. So again, we are slip stitching our way across 1 cup. It doesn't matter which one, you're just going to slip stitch all the way to the end, and once you have reached the end, we are going to make a little extension simply by chaining a number of chains. It depends on your body type. I only chain about 15 chains, and this is going to be the part that wraps around your side. So if you wanted to wrap around all the way to your back, then you're going to make more chains. If you don't really want that much wrap around, then you make less chains. It's up to you. And after you're done with that chain, just go back on it using a single crochet. And once you have single crocheted on that chain and you're nice and done with that chain, you're actually now going to single crochet all across both cups. And once you reach the end of the other cup, you're going to again chain as many chains as you did for this side, and then go back on it using a single crochet. Now for a quick recap, we started off here, we slip stitched our way over here, chained, then went back on it using single crochet, went all the way across using single crochet, and then we chained right here, went back on it using single crochet, and now we are at this point. Now what I'm going to do is leave a lot of excess yarn before I cut it off from the yarn ball. This is the yarn that I'm going to use to actually attach the granny squares to the cups. So make sure that you leave a lot of extra yarn. The more the better. It's better to have more extra yarn than not enough. So anyway, just cut that off from the yarn ball and leave it alone. And now it's finally time to start working on the actual granny squares. So grab your yarn and create a slip knot. After you created your slip knot, you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're actually going to go back into that very first chain and you're going to slip stitch it. Then you're going to chain 4 once again, 3 and 4, create 2 double crochets, and make sure that you put your hook through the center of that circle that you just created. And that's one double crochet, and then again, and that is your second double crochet. And after that, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then create 3 double crochets. So it's going to be one set of 3 double crochets. And so I'm at third double crochet, and after that you're going to chain 3 again, create another set of 3 double crochets, and it's my second double crochet and my third double crochet. Then I'm going to chain 3, 2, 3, and create my last set of 3 double crochets. And after I've completed that, I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch my way into that chain of 4 that I created earlier, and that is my first row of granny squares. Then I'm going to slip stitch my way to the corner, chain 3, 2, 3, create 2 double crochets. It's going to be 1, then 2. So that's my first set. Then I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to create another set of 3 double crochets in that same corner opening. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, go into that next corner and do the exact same thing all around until you get to the end. And to close it off, you're going to slip stitch into that first chain of 3 that you made for the row, and then if you want to go another row, then you're going to slip stitch your way to the corner, and then you're going to chain 3 and create 2 double crochets, and that's going to be your first set. And after you're done with your first set, you chain 3, then proceed to creating your second set of 3 double crochets in that corner opening. And after that, you're going to chain 2, 2, and then go into that middle opening. And in every middle opening, you're only going to do one set of 3 double crochets. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and the third double crochet. Then you're going to chain 2 and go into that corner opening, and you're going to do the exact same thing that you do with all corners, which is 2 sets of 3 double crochets with 3 chains in between them. And once you go all around and you reach the end, you're going to slip stitch into that first chain that you made in the beginning of the row, and you just continue with that pattern. Now again, that was very quick, and the reason I made it so quick is because I already made a video about how to crochet granny squares, and I will also link that in the description box below. It is much slower and beginner friendly. Also, this is how I close it off. You cut it off from the yarn ball, and you bring the excess through the last loop and give it a tug. So now that you know how to create granny squares, you're actually going to make more. I believe I made about 6 granny squares to complete my top. Let's see, how many did I make? I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6. And the way that you'll know how many granny squares you need to make is you will align the granny squares at the bottom of your top and make sure that everything is covered, as I did right here. So it's going to actually fit my top. And now it's time to actually attach the granny squares. This is also very easy. You're going to attach them the exact same way that we attached the 2 cups, which is basically using a slip stitch. So you're going to put your hook through one stitch on one granny square and the other corresponding stitch on the other granny square. Then you're going to wrap your yarn around the hook and then bring it through both granny square stitches until they are attached. And you're going to continue with that for all of the granny squares until they are one project like this. And I actually have yet another video on how to attach granny squares, which is a bit more specific. The reason I break this video down into a bunch of different videos is because I cannot have a video longer than 15 minutes, otherwise my computer crashes and it can't handle that. So that's why my videos are rather fast, and I direct you to other video tutorials. So I had forgotten that I had left off at a weird spot, so I'm just going to crochet my way back to the corner spot of the top, and then I'm going to attach these granny squares the exact same way I attach the granny squares to each other. So right now I am going through the stitch that is on the bottom of the top and then going through the stitch that is on the top of the granny square, and I am attaching them using a slip stitch. And I'm going to do that all along the granny squares and all along the top to attach them. So once everything is attached, it should look something like this. If it actually looks more like this, then you may need to unravel it and do it again, because this should be the back side of it and not the front side of it. See how it sticks out? That should be at the back, and then in the front it kind of goes in and you can't really see the stitches. So again, make sure that it is facing the back when you attach them. And now it is time to make these straps. All you have to do is go down to the corner where you want the strap to be. This is the back strap. What I did is, after I attached the granny square to the top, I simply crocheted my way along the granny square, and now I'm right here, and now I'm just making the strap. And normally my back straps are about 110 chains, but it totally depends on you. Just remember that you need enough chains to not only wrap around your back, but also tie together in the back. So that's why I chain so many chains. And after I'm done chaining my 110, I go back on it using a slip stitch just to make it thicker. And now I'm actually going to the other side to make my second strap, and I'm going to show you how I attach my yarn. So I put my hook through the stitch I want my strap to be, then I bring my yarn through that stitch with my hook, leaving some excess yarn. Then I wrap the excess yarn and the yarn attached to the yarn ball onto the hook, and then I chain with both of them on the hook. Eventually the excess yarn runs out, and that's fine. Then you just chain using the yarn that's attached to the yarn ball. So you chain the same amount of chains you did for the other side, and then you go back on it using a slip stitch. And after that, you're done with both straps. And now we're going to do the crisscross pattern. All you have to do is pick the stitch you want your strap to go through, and put your hook through that stitch, then pull your strap through that stitch, and you're done. This is me pulling the strap through the stitch, and there you go. Now you have a cute crisscross back. Yay! Now it's time for the neck straps, which is super easy. It's the exact same thing as the back straps, just less chains. I usually chain about 50. So again, to attach the yarn, you pick the stitch that you want your strap to be, and then you bring the yarn through that stitch with your hook. Then you chain using the yarn from the yarn ball and the excess yarn, and then you go back on that chain using a slip stitch, and then you close it off, cut off the excess, go to the other side and make your second strap, and then you are done. And again, I know this video was super fast. However, I do have separate videos that are beginner friendly on how to make crochet cups and how to make granny squares, as well as how to attach granny squares. So if you really want to make this top, go ahead and watch those videos first, master it, and then come back to this video and attach everything to make this top. Thank you so much for watching. If you love crochet, please give this video a like and click that red subscribe button if you have not already, so I can see you next time. Bye!